Our gathering song for the month of July, 10:08, When Our Heart is in a Holy Place. Please rise in body or in spirit. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we trust the wisdom in each of us, every color, every creed and kind, and we see our faces in each other's eyes, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place.
Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Society. I don't know if this is this working? Ah, I think it is. Everybody hear me? Louder. Oh. Okay. We're grateful together for a time of inspiration, reflection, and connection. Whether you join us today with joy in your heart, weighted with burdens, or searching for meaningful connections, we're glad you're here. I'm Swanson, one of the worship associates. I have black glasses on, that's all. I'm dressed for yesterday. And the whole year and the next 250 years. Okay? And I'm standing in USS's pulpit at the front of our sanctuary. This room is adjoining the commons, are filled with people of all ages. And through the window walls of our sanctuary, we connect to the natural world around us, where it is a beautiful day. As we gather, we give thanks for this land and all who have cared for it over the centuries, particularly the Kickapoo, the Iowa, the Sauk, the Meskwaki, the Osheti-Shakawan nations. As people of many ages, genders, races, sexual orientations, classes, abilities, health statuses, we know how important it is to come together and work together to create a radically welcoming spiritual community. As Unitarian Universalists, our faith expresses our core value of love through how we agree to be together and to support each other. We are guided by the shared principles, sources, and values of our religious tradition. This morning, as we think about what patriotism means after just celebrating America's 250th birthday, we will explore how our Unitarian Universalist values of transformation, justice, and equity inform our attitudes towards our community and our country. If doing something with your hands helps you, we invite you to visit the Soul Work Table outside the sanctuary doors to pick up a breath work tool or focus on items to work with. If you're newer to our congregation, we invite you to learn more about us after the service by talking with a greeter or by filling out our visitor form in YouTube Notes so that we can connect with you. We come together to lament with, celebrate with, and care for one another in our community and in the world. Because we want to be here with one another, love not only is a center, but it is also an opening that invites us to lament, celebrate, and care. This is a responsive reading coming up, and I think it's going to be on the screen. Love invites us to honor our interdependence with all beings in the web of all existence. Love invites us to envision a world where, I'll read it. If it's not up there, I'll do it all, okay? Okay? Love invites us to envision a world where all are free from exploitation and the smallest to the largest are protected and nurtured with care and respect. Love invites us to revel in our uniqueness, using pluralism as our guide. Love invites us to recognize all beings as sacred and celebrated. Our differences are appreciated and valued. All are equally sacred, regardless of culture, theology, and experience. Love invites us to counter all forms of oppression with justice.
Love invites us to dismantle all forms of racism and systemic oppression. All people are worthy of thriving.
Love invites us to participate in our individual and collective transformation.
Love invites us to cultivate change so we may grow spiritually and ethically. We know that we are perfectly imperfect and never finish growing.
Love invites us to connect by opening our hearts to generosity.
Love invites us to willingly and thoughtfully share our time, talent, and treasure. Our generosity connects us in relationships of interdependence and mutuality.
Love invites us to create inclusive, equitable communities.
Love invites us to know in our hearts that all people are inherently worthy and have the right to flourish with dignity, love, and compassion.
Love invites us to worship together.
Our opening hymn for this morning, 159, This Is My Song. Please rise in body or in spirit.
This is my song, O God of all the nations, a song of peace for lands afar and mine. This is my home, the country where my heart is. Here are my hopes, my dreams, my holy shrine. But other hearts in other lands are beating with hopes and dreams as true and high as mine. My country's skies are bluer than the ocean, and sunlight beams on clover leaf and pine. But other lands have sun sunlight too and clover, and skies are everywhere as blue as mine. Oh, hear my song, thou God of all the nations, a song of peace for their land and for mine.
As Unitarian Universalists, we light a flame within a chalice as a symbol of sanctuary, safety, and hope to unite us in our worship and to remind us of our ongoing search for the light of truth. Please join me in saying our chalice lighting as words as Jesse lights our chalice. Life is a gift for which we're grateful. We gather in community to celebrate the wonder and mystery of this great gift. So let us now kindle the flame of our liberal religious heritage and renew our covenant of mutual love and care. Love is our doctrine, the quest for truth is our sacrament, and service is our prayer. Go and have peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, and to serve those who need us. This we covenant with life and one another. We also light a candle for justice and healing as a reminder of our interdependence on earth with all members of the global community. We light this candle so that we may not be numb to injustice and trauma, but rather find strength, courage, and love as we work in solidarity with others for liberation, justice, and healing. Together, we create resilience and hope. Today, as I light this candle, we're particularly mindful of the 250th anniversary of our vast and exceptional country. And let's dwell for a moment on how fortunate we are. And remember the 56 who signed their name on the Declaration of Independence, knowing if they were caught by the British monarchy, they would hang. And after, at the bottom, they had a pledge and a bond. As they wrote, they pledged their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor.
Good morning. My name is Nick Kaplan. My pronouns are they, them, and I am the grateful director of Lifespan Religious Education here at UUS. If you are in one of the places where we have some coloring pages out, I made this coloring page specifically for our Time for All Ages today. There are some extras, so if you are not seated in a place that has one and wants one, there are extra lap desks, there are clipboards. Please feel free. There's some imagery here that as you're listening, you might pick up on why I chose these elements. Our Time for All Ages today is a poem by Amanda Gorman, and I will do my best. She is impressive. The poem is In This Place, an American lyric. There is a poem in this place, in the footfalls, in the halls, in the quiet beat of the seats. It is here at the curtain of day where America writes a lyric you must whisper to say. There's a poem in this place, in the heavy grace, the lined face of this noble building, collections burned and reborn twice. There's a poem in Boston's Copley Square, where protest chants tear through the air like sheets of rain, where love of the many swallows hatred of the few. There's a poem in Charlottesville, where tiki torches string a ring of flame tight around the wrist of night, where men so white they gleam blue seem like statues, where men heap that long wax burning higher, ever higher, where heather higher blooms forever in a meadow of resistance. There's a poem in the great sleeping giant of Lake Michigan, defiantly raising its big blue head to Milwaukee and Chicago. A poem begun long ago, blazed into frozen soil, strutting upward and aglow. There's a poem in Florida, in East Texas, where streets swell into a nexus of rivers, cows afloat like mottled buoys in the brown, where courage is now so common that 23-year-old Jesus Contreras rescues people from floodwaters. There's a poem in Los Angeles, yawning wide as the Pacific tide, where a single mother swelters in a windowless classroom, teaching Black and brown students in Watts to spell out their thoughts so her daughter might write this poem for you. There's a lyric in California where thousands of students march for blocks, undocumented and unafraid, where my friend Rosa finds the power to blossom in deadlock, her spirit the bedrock of her community. She knows hope is like a stubborn ship gripping a dock, a truth that you can't stop a dreamer or knock down a dream. How could this not be her city, su nación, our America, or our country, our America, our American lyric to write? A poem by the people, the poor, the Protestant, the Muslim, the Jew, the native, the immigrant, the Black, the brown, the blind, the brave, the undocumented and undeterred, the woman, the man, the non-binary, the white, the trans, the ally to all of the above and more. Tyrants fear the poet. Now that we know it, we can't blow it. We owe it to show it, not slow it. Although it hurts to sow it when the world skirts below it, hope. We must bestow it like a wick in the poet so it can grow lit, bringing with it stories to rewrite. The story of a Texas city depleted but not defeated. A history written that need not be repeated. A nation composed but not yet completed. There's a poem in this place, a poem in America, a poet in every American who rewrites this nation, who tells a story worthy of being told on this minnow of an earth, to breathe hope into the palimpsest of time, a poet in every American who sees that our poem penned doesn't mean our poems end. There's a place where this poem dwells. It is here, it is now, in the yellow song of dawn's bell, where we write an American lyric we are just beginning to tell. I love Amanda Gorman so much, y'all. It is the time we have in service where our children, youth, and teachers light our lantern from our chalice. Each week when they head to classes, our children light a lantern as a symbol of the love and hope that goes with them as they explore our faith. Children, youth, and teachers, please come forward as Alex lights our lantern from our chalice, and then we can all join Andrew in singing Be Open as the children, youth, and teachers head to religious education. The words will be on your screen.
Something wonderful to happen. Be open to the possibility. Aye, 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 aye,
This is a poem called The New Colossus by Emma Lazarus. It was written in 1883 about the Statue of Liberty, a symbol of hope and new beginnings for thousands of immigrants who entered the U.S. via New York Harbor and Ellis Island in the 20th century. The last lines especially call to a vision of what America could be, a refuge and a comfort for the marginalized and the suffering. This poem illustrates an ideal of American freedom beyond the golden door that in many ways has yet to be realized. But as Unitarian Universalists, this poem also reaffirms our belief in the inherent worth and dignity of every human person, regardless of origin, health, or ability, and our responsibility to be open to the transformation necessary to create a community or even a nation that affirms that worth in its policies and infrastructure. The poem. Not like the brazen giant of Greek fame, with conquering limbs astride from land to land, here at our sea-washed sunset gates shall stand a mighty woman with a torch, whose flame is the imprisoned lightning, and her name, Mother of Exiles. From her beacon hand glows worldwide welcome. Her mild eyes command the air-bridged harbor that twin cities frame. Keep, ancient lands, your storied pomp, cries she with silent lips. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses, yearning to breathe free. The wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed to me. I lift up my lamp beside the golden door.
Hello. I'm Andrea. I'm a worship associate here at UUS. I use she, they pronouns, and I'm a Black person in their late 20s wearing a royal blue jumper. This poem was published as part of a collection of poems in 1995. The specific language of this poem might initially seem very familiar, but the message that Hughes brings here is much different from the Make America Great Again slogans of the last decade or so. Instead, this poem, like Amanda Gorman's In This Place, an American Lyric, calls out the truth of injustice in America while also holding hope for the U.S. To live up to its ideals of liberty and justice for all. Let America be America again. Let it be the dream it used to be. Let it be the pioneer on the plain, seeking a home where he himself is free. America was never America to me. Let America be the dream, the dreamer's dream. Let it be the great strong land of love where never kings connive nor tyrants scheme, that any man be crushed by one above. It was never America to me. Oh, let my land be the land where liberty is crowned with no false patriotic reef, but opportunity is real and life is free. Equality is in the air we breathe. There's never been equality for me, nor freedom in this homeland of the free. Say, who are you that mumbles in the dark? And who are you that draws your veil across the stars? I am the poor white, fooled and pushed apart. I am the Negro bearing slavery's scars. I am the red man driven from the land. I am the immigrant clutching the hope I seek and finding only the same old stupid plan of dog eat dog, of mighty crush the weak. I am the young man full of strength and hope, tangled in that ancient endless chain of profit, power, gain, of grab the land, of grab the gold, of grab the ways of satisfying need, of work the men, of take the pay, owning everything for one's own greed. I am the farmer, bondsman to the soil. I am the worker, sold to the machine. I am the Negro, servant to you all. I am the people, humble, hungry, mean, hungry yet today despite the dream, beaten yet today. Oh, pioneers, I am the man who never got ahead, the poorest worker, bartered through the years, yet I'm the one who dreamt our basic dream. In the old world, while sit the serf of kings, who dreamt a dream so strong, so brave, so true, that even yet its mighty darling sings in every brick and stone, in every furrow turn that's made America the land it has become. Oh, I am the man who sailed the early seas in search of what was meant to be my home, for I am the one who left dark Ireland's shore, and Poland's plain, and England's grassy lay, and torn from black Africa's strand, I came to build a homeland of the free. The free? Who said the free? Not me. Surely not me. The millions on relief today, the millions shot down when we strike, the millions who have nothing for our pay, for all the dreams we've dreamed and all the songs we've sung and all the hopes we've held and all the flags we've hung, the millions who have nothing for our pay except the dream that's almost dead today. Oh, let America be America again, the land that never has been yet, and yet it must be the land where every man is free. The land that's mine, the poor man's, Indians, Negroes, me who made America, whose sweat and blood, whose faith and pain, whose hands at the foundry, whose plowed in the rain, must bring back our mighty dream again. Sure, call me any ugly name you choose. The steel of freedom does not stain from those who live like leeches on people's lives. We must take back our land again. America. Oh yes, I say it plain, America was never America to me. And yet I swear this oath, America will be. Out of the wreck and ruin of our gangster death, the rape and the rot of graft, and the stealth and lies, we, the people, must redeem the land, the mines, the plants, the rivers, the mountains, and the endless plain, all the stretch of these great green stakes, and make America again. A few months ago, anticipating the US's 205th year of independence, I started reflecting on what it means to be an American and what patriotism really means to me. I know a lot of my friends don't like to identify themselves as patriotic for two reasons, or a combination of both. They think, why should I be proud of a nation built on stolen land? A nation that genocided Native folks, a nation that starts wars, attempts to hide an empire, takes advantage of its citizens, and harms its most vulnerable people. A nation built on the free labor of Black folks and the low-wage labor of Mexican, Chinese, and other immigrants from across the globe. An individualistic, capitalistic, consumeristic-centric country. I could go on, but I think I'll stop there. But the point is, what is there to be proud of? They might also think about the group most commonly associated with patriotism, white nationalists. My mom can't even look at the American flag because of this association. She says it reminds her of the Confederate flag, and I really don't blame her when the people proudly sporting its red and white stripes and white stars amongst the Navy background are the same people she fears when there are too many of them in one area. Scared that she might be shot, terrified she's going to be racially profiled and targeted. Because of these associations, patriotism can feel exclusionary and conservative. In one of my classes a few years ago, we read an article by Nicole Hannah-Jones, author of the 16th and 19th Project. She's from Waterloo, Iowa, and she got there via her grandmother. In the 1940s, her grandma left Mississippi for a life outside of sharecropping to be met with more racialized and gendered labels of service in the Midwest. Hannah Jones's dad joined the Army for money and the opportunities associated with the job, of course, but it also, in a way, to receive respect, as everyone seemed to appreciate and give respect to those in the military. He also experienced racial discrimination there, however. He was put into service jobs and passed up for opportunities. He worked hard, but that hard work did not yield more opportunities or the appreciation like one would expect. A Black man who's also a veteran and has experienced racism, discrimination, and microaggressions, yet he was patriotic. Hannah Jones talked about how embarrassed she used to feel when her father proudly flew the American flag in front of their home. Why be patriotic? Before I present my answer, I think it's important to briefly look back at history. So let's take a look at the US's story of independence. One of the many reasons the US wanted independence was that Britain became more conscious of the reliance on free labor in the West and the role that they played in allowing it to continue. From the US's perspective, if slavery were abolished, that would severely harm its economy, so they wanted independence before Britain outlawed it. I feel like it's also important to note that the first 10 out of 12 presidents that we had were enslavers, which shows that they were invested in the continuation of this institution. Jefferson saw the hypocrisy in the US's call for independence from an oppressive Britain while they relied on enslavement of Black folks, so he claimed it wasn't their fault. As the colonists, the British created the conditions for us to use this institution of enslavement to build an economy. They even explicitly said that trafficking human beings was a crime, yet slavery continued to exist after America gained independence. Eventually, the US gained independence in 1776, and this gave rise to the celebration that we had yesterday. I'm skipping a lot of history for time's sake, but before the Civil War ended, the question of whether Black Americans truly belonged in this nation was still deeply contested. In 1862, President Abraham Lincoln met with a delegation of free Black leaders at the White House, and while considering emancipation, also proposed that formerly enslaved people be sent to another country because he believed Black and white Americans could not live together equally. This next section is a direct quote from Hannah Jones's article. Nearly 3 years after the White House meeting, General Robert E. Lee surrounded at Appomattox. By summer, the Civil War was over, and 4 million Black Americans were suddenly free. Contrary to Lincoln's view, most were not inclined to leave, agreeing with the sentiment of the resolution against Black colonization put forth at a convention of Black leaders in New York some decades before. Quote, "This is our home, and this our country. Beneath its sod lie the bones of our fathers. Here we were born, here we will die, end quote. That the formerly enslaved did not take up Lincoln's offer to abandon these lands is an astonishing testament to their belief in this nation's founding ideals. As W.E.B. Du Bois wrote, quote, "Few men ever worshiped freedom with half such unquestioning faith as did the American Negro for 2 centuries," end quote. Black Americans have long called for universal equality and believed, as the abolitionist Martin Delany said, quote, "that God has made of one blood all the nations that dwell on the face of the earth," end quote. Liberated by war, then, they did not seek vengeance on their oppressors as Lincoln and so many other white Americans feared. They did the opposite. During this nation's brief period of Reconstruction from 1865 to 1877, formerly enslaved people zealously engaged with the democratic process. With federal troops tempering widespread white violence, Black Southerners started branches of the Equal Rights League, one of the nation's first human rights organizations, to fight discrimination and organize voters. They headed in droves to the polls where they placed other formerly enslaved people into the seats that their enslavers had once held. The South, for the first time in the history of this country, began to resemble a democracy, with Black Americans elected to local, state, and federal offices. As Hannah Jones is reflected on her father's perspective, she realized that Black Americans have as much claim to this country and its ideals as anyone else because they helped build this nation, expand democracy, and push America closer to its promise of freedom and equality. During Reconstruction, a lot was done because Black folks were allowed to participate in the democratic process with protections from the federal government. We are responsible for the development of public schools. We help pass laws to prevent discrimination in the workplace and public spaces. We help desegregate schools, help pass the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendments, which helped multiple marginalized groups, including immigrants and women. Of course, that momentum didn't last because here we are in 2026 with the Voting Rights Act in critical condition, and tons more gains have once again been lost. If you want to read about what happened after Reconstruction, I've included this article in the bibliography for today's service. And I know this isn't a history class, but I felt like that historical context was necessary to understand why a Black person might be patriotic. After reflecting on Hannah Jones's reading, I think maybe we, folks who are skeptical of claiming patriotism, should be patriotic, and honestly, we have both a right and a reason to be. First, America is one of the very few heterogeneous countries in the world. When people talk about how great education or quality of life is in other countries like Finland or other Nordic nations, there's often one uncomfortable fact left unsaid, that these countries are far more homogeneous than the United States is. The United States has a different task. We have to be this beautiful melting pot and do so in a way where every single person is taken care of while taking into account our tumultuous past. Another beautiful thing about America is that this is a country shaped by immigrants, cultures, religions, languages, and traditions from all over the world. Because of our heterogeneity, we create incredible art, whether in music, visual arts, dance, fashion, literature, or poetry, as we're exploring today. There are endless opportunities to learn from one another, take inspiration from different communities, and build connections across cultures. Some of the most influential cultural movements in the world were born from this blending of experiences. The US is meant to be a pluralistic country. Finally, I cannot say that I'm not patriotic if I spend my time trying to make this country better and hold it to its promises. Someone who truly did not care about their country would not engage with their community, would not write to senators, organize for justice, volunteer, protest, or work towards healing this nation. Wanting America to improve is not anti-American. It's one of the most patriotic things a person could do. Next time you question whether you should claim patriotism, remember that we are the people who work to make America great. We are making America America. Patriotism does not have to mean blind loyalty or pretending this country has no flaws. It can mean learning, believing, and actively ensuring that America lives up to its promise of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness for every human being, and working every day to make that promise real.
Today our offering is to, whoops, gotta get it. Here we go. The Immigrant Welcome Network. How we give and what we do with our lives is a reflection of our values. As we discern how abundance flows in different parts of our lives and communities, every week the congregation donates generously to organizations in the community whose work aligns with our values and principles. Cash and non-pledge offerings are shared between our community partner agencies and the UUS, with 75% going to support our partners. Our community partner agency this month is the Immigrant Welcome Network of Johnson County. This organization was started in 2023 to prevent homelessness and build long-term community power. Their services include both temporary and permanent housing assistance to immigrants new to Johnson County and to the United States, as well as connections to community resources to ensure that our new neighbors from across the globe are able to establish a long-term, thriving life in Johnson County. Next Sunday, we will get to hear more from a representative of this organization about the work they do in our community. If you're writing a check, in the memo line, please either write pledge to continue your annual pledge or offering to support our social justice giving. You can follow the instructions on the screen to give online or via text. Your offerings are a sign of your commitment to this congregation, which is completely supported by the generosity of all who join us. As we give and receive the offering, may we be transformed by our giving, and may the world be transformed by our gifts. love that song. May what has been shared today help us more fully affirm our interconnection and live into love and justice. After the service, we gather in the fellowship hall and outside for conversation and community. If you're a newcomer, we hope you'll grab a snack and then sit at the table so folks can join you for some conversation.
Our closing hymn this morning is number 121, We'll Build a Land. The lyrics of this song are based on language from the books of Amos and Isaiah in the Hebrew prophets. Both of these texts call out injustice and inequality. Many of the specific calls to action in the song come from Isaiah 61, a passage that imagines how justice might be embodied, binding up the broken, comforting the mourning. The lines in the chorus, where justice shall roll down like waters and peace like an ever-flowing stream, come from Amos 5. And, in context, these lines describe the waters of justice forcefully destroying corruption and greed to make way for new life. Civil rights activists and anti-war activists have referenced this Old Testament language from Amos and Isaiah often, and we sing these words together today with the same aspirations to equity and justice. Please rise in body or in spirit.
We'll build a land where we bind up the broken. We'll build a land where the captives go free, where the oil of gladness dissolves all mourning. Oh, we'll build a promised land that can be. Build a land where sisters and brothers, anointed by God, may then create peace, where justice shall roll down like waters, and peace like an ever-flowing stream. We'll build a land where we bring the good tidings to all the afflicted and all those who mourn, and we'll give them garlands instead of ashes. Oh, we'll build a land, peace is born. Come, build a land where sisters and brothers, anointed by God, may then create peace, where justice shall roll down like waters, and peace like an ever-flowing stream. We'll be a land building up ancient cities, raising up devastations from old, restoring ruins of generations. Oh, we'll build a land of people so bold. Come, build a land where sisters and brothers, led by God, may then create peace, where justice shall roll down like waters, and peace like an ever-flowing stream. Come, build a land where the man mantles of praises resound from spirits once faint and once weak, where like oaks of righteousness stand her people. Oh, come build the land, my people we seek. Come build a land where sisters and brothers, anointed by God, may then create peace, where justice shall roll down like waters, and peace like an ever-flowing stream.
Please join me in the words for extinguishing the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the firmament. All these we carry in our hearts, in our minds, until we are together again.
May we be blessed with the courage to tell the truth about our history, the humanity to learn from those who came before us, and the wisdom to recognize that love for a country does not require ignoring its wounds, but calls us to recognize them and help them heal. May we be filled with the hope to believe in the promises of freedom, equality, and dignity for all people, as that is patriotic. May we go from this place committed to building a nation that reflects its highest ideals, a nation where every person is valued, every voice matters, and every community has the opportunity to flourish, including the most vulnerable. Amen, and blessed be.